You will need your MyView Literacy Book 1.3. Go ahead and get it now. Open your book to page 106 and 107. New Ideas. Author. Zetta Elliott wrote the story. She used her imagination to create the characters, setting, and events. Inventor. Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone a long time ago. The telephone looks very different today. Astronaut. Ellen Okoa had new ideas about how to get better pictures of space. How can imagination lead to new ideas? So the author used her imagination to make characters, a story, and events in the blackout. We read that at the beginning of the year. Alexander Graham Bell used his imagination to imagine how he could talk to people from far away, and he created the telephone. Ellen Okoa used her imagination to get better pictures of space, so in order to take those pictures, she went to space to take them. Which new idea do you like best? How did imagination help these people think of new ideas? So which one did you like best? The story The Blackout, the telephone, or going to space to take pictures? Which one would you do? Turn in your book to page 121. Today we're going to read poems. Listen to this poem called Think Big. An idea comes to you about something to do to fix a big problem you see. You can brainstorm a plan. You can do what you can to make things the way they should be. As you start to build, you'll become very thrilled, and you'll work on your plan with great zeal. When you're done, you will find what began in your mind soon turned into a thing that is real. Did you hear rhyming words in there? I sure did. I heard C and B, zeal and real, you and do, and lots of other words. Did this poem have a rhythm? It sure did. Listen to this next poem. See if you can find rhyming words and rhythm. This poem is called Before. Before the phone, you couldn't call home. You had to send notes in the mail. Before the car, you couldn't go far unless you traveled by rail. How lucky we are to have a phone and a car and live as we do today. Did you hear rhyming words? I heard mail and rail, phone and home, car and far. Did it have rhythm? It sure did. Now turn the page and open your book to page 122 and 123. This is a poem called Poodle Doodles. It's by Jean Hansen Novak and illustrated by Matt Smith. So Jean Hansen Novak did the words and Matt Smith did the pictures. When poets write poetry, they use their imagination to imagine something going on that they can write about. When illustrators draw pictures, they read the poem and imagine it in your head. Then they draw the picture. First, let's look at our words. This word says doodle. A doodle is to make writing marks without thinking about them. So that's just where you draw without really thinking about what you're doing. Draw means to make a picture. So you put a picture on a page. Scribble is to write something carelessly that is hard or impossible to read. So if you scribble, it would kind of look like this. It might look a little different, but it just means to write without being able to read it. Let's read this poem. Listen for rhyme and rhythm. Draw, draw, doodle, doodle, I can make a curly poodle. Draw, draw, scribble, scribble, now I'll make a bone to nibble. Let's read that poem again. That was fun. Draw, draw, doodle, doodle, I can make a curly poodle. Draw, draw, scribble, scribble, now I'll make a bone to nibble. This poem's really fun, especially since I have a poodle. Close read. Underline the words in the poem that repeat. My book already has this done for me. Draw, draw. Those two words repeat, so they're underlined. Doodle, doodle. Those are repeat words as well, so they're underlined too. When you go down to the second verse, the same words repeat. Draw, draw. Underline those two words. Scribble, scribble. Those are repeats again. Underline those two. Did you hear rhyming in this? I did. How about doodle and poodle? Scribble and nibble. Did it have rhythm? It did. Draw, draw, doodle, doodle. I can make a curly poodle. Make sure you have draw, draw underlined, doodle, doodle underlined, draw, draw underlined, and scribble, scribble underlined before you turn the page. Turn the page to 124 and 125. Listen as I read the poem. The Box by Sharon Wooding, illustrated by Lynn Caravath. When Dad brought home the great big box and left it by my door, I crawled inside a cardboard cave and roared a dragon's roar. Then one day Daddy carved a little hole into the box. The cave became a fox's den, and I became a fox. Still later, I drew flowers on the cardboard and a tree. Dad cut some doors and windows out, and now I'm being me. Underline the three-word pairs that begin with the same sound. Look at the first verse. Big and box both start with B. A great big box. On the next part, a cardboard cave. Cardboard starts with C and cave starts with C. The last pair is day, daddy. Day starts with D and daddy starts with D. One day daddy. So make sure you have big box, cardboard cave, and day daddy. Did you hear rhymes in this? Can you name two words that rhyme? What about door and roar? Great job! Now go ahead and turn the page to 126 and 127. Sandcastle by Carol A. Grund, illustrated by John Sanford. Our word in this box says decorate. To decorate means to make something look different or more interesting by adding things to it. Look at your picture. What did they decorate? The sandcastle, right. They added lots of shells and seaweed to decorate it. Listen as I read the story. Soft and squishy, wet and brown, scoop the sand and pack it down. Fill a bucket, fill a cup, dump it out, then build it up. Here a tower, there a wall, now a moat surrounds it all. Gather sticks to make a gate, shells and stones to decorate. Waves reach up and lick the shore, knocking at our castle door. Soon it all will melt away. Come and build another day. Highlight ideas in this poem that you can connect to ideas in other poems. So what were ideas in this poem that were used in some of the other poems? How about come and build another day? This reminds me of the poem The Box that we just read. His dad was building things for him to play in. He turned the box into a cave, and then he cut it so it was a den. Then it turned into a house. Remember when he turned it into a house, how he did that? He drew flowers and trees on the outside, so he was decorating. So right here where it says to gather things and decorate, that reminds me of that other poem too. I don't have a highlighter, so I just underlined it. But you can highlight or underline yours. Gather sticks to make a gate, shells and stones to decorate. I heard two rhyming words in there, gate and decorate. Come and build another day. Turn in your book to page 128 and 129. On page 128, the directions say to create a picture using your imagination. Draw a picture of yourself. Doodle something around the picture. Scribble lines by the picture. Decorate your picture. So first I'm going to draw. I'm going to be waving. Then it says to doodle something around the picture. So remember, doodle just means to kind of draw stuff, but it kind of looks like something, but not really. You just draw it really fast. So I'm just gonna doodle like maybe like some trees in the background. I'm gonna pretend I'm outside. Then it says scribble lines by the picture. So I'm just gonna scribble around the edge to kind of make like a border. And then I'm gonna add curly scribbles too. So remember, scribble is kind of like when you write, so you're making lines, but it doesn't say anything. They're not words. Then the last thing says to decorate your picture. Remember, decorate says to add detail. So I'm gonna add a bird flying through the sky. I'm gonna add color to my shirt. Actually, maybe I'll turn my shirt actually into a dress. It'll be like a really long dress. I'm gonna add some flowers. Okay. On page 129, number 1 says, how can you tell these texts are poems? So how could we tell that these 3 poems were poems? Do you remember while we were reading, I asked if they had rhyme and rhythm? Did they have rhyme and rhythm? They sure did. Let's write that. They had rhyme and rhythm. Do you remember the other thing that Poodle Doodle had? Let's go back and look at it. Why did we underline these words? Because they repeat. So the repeating words make it a poem too. So we need to write the words repeat. Page 129, and write and repeating words. Put a period at the end. They had rhyme and rhythm and repeating words. Number 2. Why does the author of Sandcastle use rhyming words? So let's go back and look at Sandcastle. That's on page 126 and 127. Why did the author use rhyming words? Remember I circled gate and decorate because they rhyme? Why do you think the author did that? Let's see if we can find other rhyming words to figure it out. Soft and squishy, wet and brown, scoop the sand and pack it down. Brown and down. Fill a bucket, fill a cup, dump it out, then build it up. Up and cup. Here a tower, there a wall, now a moat surrounds it all. Wall and all. Gather sticks to make a gate, shells and stones to decorate. Gate and decorate. Waves reach up and lick the shore, knocking at our castle door. Door and shore. Soon it all will melt away. Come and build another day. Away and day. So why did this author use rhyming words? They used rhyming words to give the poem a rhythm. So they used rhyming words to make rhythm. Go back to page 129 and write that in. They used rhymes to make a rhythm. Let's go on to number 3. Why does a sandcastle melt away? Use text evidence. So we just reread that poem, The Sandcastle. What does it mean when it said that the sandcastle will melt away? Let's go back and look at that poem. Right here it says, soon it all will melt away. So what would happen to the sandcastle that would make it melt away? A wave could come and knock it down. Then what would happen when the wave came and knocked it down? It would disappear, but they could build another day. Waves reach up and lick the shore, knocking at our castle door. So here come the waves to knock it down. Soon it all will melt away. Come and build another day. Go back to page 129. Why do sandcastles melt away? I'm going to write the waves knock them down. Because when the waves knock them down, the sandcastles melt. You can do these 2 pages on Seesaw, or you can do them in your book and then take a picture and upload them. When you're done, touch check mark to turn it in.